What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Game On Improve Your Health podcast. Tonight's podcast Journey, is being guided by none other than your host, Austin J, or hallucinodream, if you know him from the gaming community, and his lovely wife, Christina, or the Warden, if you know her from the upcoming gaming community adventures. And tonight's podcast episode is on nutrition while traveling. I forgot to say enjoy your episode. Also, I want to say we are, if you haven't noticed or heard, if you're listening on the podcast platform right now, the room is most likely echoing. We are, once again, we've been condemned to a different location. This one seemingly might look similar to maybe some of our other episodes. It is. We are back at the house, just not in the actual podcast or streaming room. So I apologize for the quality. This quality is going to be lesser than all of the other episodes, but it's not going to make it's not going to make the quality. I mean the content. It's not going to make the content any less important. Any less important or better. Now, thank you for tuning in and listening. I forgot to say that in the very poor introduction that I made, and I apologize for the chair that was the chair. I apologize for the chair that's gonna continue to squeak. Ow. It's gonna continue to squeak almost the whole time. It's a very squeaky chair. So tonight's episode. In here sucks. Yes, everything. There's nothing ideal about this location. Stop squeaking the chair. Tonight's podcast episode is brought to you by. Just kidding.
We already did that.
We don't have any sponsors. It is on nutrition while traveling. Foods you can eat, tips, what we do. So we travel a lot. I thought you were going to take over, but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
We travel a lot. We've been traveling a lot recently for Christina's work here.
Let me take over. We travel a lot. And we've been traveling a lot for
That's perfect. All right, now stop talking. You said enough. And for her work, my work travels with me. It's my baby. And so,
she travels with me, so therefore he has to travel with me.
Truth.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of her caregiver.
And traveling for smart races, too. So we've been doing a lot of traveling recently. So we want to give tips. Sometimes it gets hard, even for us, but we know some people might struggle, especially if they're just starting out. My chair is, if you're watching, my chair is not a chair. It's actually a Bosu ball, okay? So I'm bouncing here. Or a yoga ball.
Just a yoga ball?
Yoga ball. There's several names. They're all the same. It's a ball. Bouncy ball. It's a giant bouncy ball. So we're going to give, tips, what we do, what we think about while we're eating travel foods and stuff. And I'm going to let Christina take over.
Okay. One thing that we normally will try to do is we try to pack snacks. So then, we do have things to munch on and you're not tempted to get like a, candy bar or something full of sugar and salt and just like overly processed like you can normally get enticed to do if you are just picking something up from a gas station or a store kind of on the road. And then, as far as like fast food goes, we really don't eat fast food. The only one we'll eat is Chick-fil-A, which is quick service.
Quick service, that's right, it's not fast food. For anybody listening, it is quick service. So we do eat that. And I like where you're going with this. Let's start. We're going to start with road tripping first, okay? We didn't specify, but we are going to start with what we do on road trips. It's going to be different.
Right.
It's going to be different than if we were to travel on a plane.
In an aeroplane, correct.
Yeah, not super different, but it's different. So continue.
So this is really more for road trips. So if we are going to be in the car for extended period of time, like we try to bring things, so like we'll bring waters, snacks, and then we'll get coffee along the way. I don't drink energy drinks.
I don't either.
So 2 days ago, he doesn't. That I think is one of your biggest nutrition downfalls.
I think sugar would be the worst.
Yeah,
sugar is number one the worst. All right, listen.
Energy.
Listen. Since we're talking about nutrition, listen. I talk about all this stuff. We talk about all this stuff, and we do admit when we have our, our downfalls, right?
For sure.
One of my biggest problems, specifically right now, I did have an energy drink a couple days ago, right? And I know it's bad for you, and I know you shouldn't be drinking it, and I'm going to kick the habit again. But listen, the amount of things I have quit cold turkey, this is a topic for another day. I've quit cold turkey, and I stuck with is astonishing. Okay, I'm very proud of myself for the things that I've done. I'm having more trouble kicking the sugar addiction. I wouldn't say it's. I really do think the energy drinks that I've been drinking is contributed to the sugar, because I've been having a real urge to eat sugar lately, and I don't even want to just drink water or coffee. I need something sweet to drink. I feel like I need something sweet to drink, and I just cannot find the drink that I want to drink. Mm-hmm. I drink kombucha, which we called it at the store, and the lady was confused.
I know.
Just earlier today.
I know.
By the way, we bring that with us.
Yeah, we do. Yep.
But I need to find a drink that I can drink that will. So
I have been attempting to make mocktails. Because we're not huge drinkers. I mean, I
think I posted on social media. If you follow me if you follow me personally on social media, and I'll put it on the One Punch too, because it's that good.
Yeah.
She did make mocktails just recently, and I will say the second version is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
first version,
the first one was
honestly,
I didn't know how terrible coconut water was.
Comments,
it was
please.
bad.
Somebody, people who knew, let us know. What do you think of coconut water? Do you drink
bad.
coconut water?
Yeah, I did not like it. It was terrible.
Anyways, I just want to get that out there. Correct. I do drink energy drinks. And when we're traveling, since we got on this topic, I do drink energy. I am the primary driver. Okay?
Yes.
And by primary means she's not allowed to drive.
One.
I'm the only one who drives.
We let Alice drive for 30 minutes, but that's it.
She's
still learning.
Every hour. So she's really getting good at driving. But I do. Driving makes me tired. It's one of the few things that makes me the most tired, right? So I want to be able to combat that with sugary energy drinks sometimes. And so I do, right? Mm-hmm. In reality, if I were to fall asleep at the wheel and crash, way worse, right? Way worse than drinking an energy drink, I would say. So, it's very flawed logic, but that's what I'm going to go with.
So, yeah.
Anyways, I'm 2 days energy drink free. You're welcome.
And 0 days chocolate cake free. Anyway.
That is your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
3 or 4 days in a row were you supposed to bring that to work. All of that cake was supposed to be out of here.
That's true.
Correct.
I know.
Another thing.
My dad's been eating it though.
Another thing. That's a very big tip. We've said this before. If you really try to kick a habit,
stuff in the house,
get it out.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Yeah. But anyway, so things that we try to do when we are on a road trip. We really try to eat before we go. So like eat one meal. So like normally we'll leave in the morning.
Okay, I was gonna say make sure you specify in the morning, because if somebody's about to leave at 4 PM on a road trip or going overnight, and they're like, well, they said eat one meal. So I woke up at 6 this morning. I'm gonna eat one meal, plan it strategically, and then I'm gonna drive at midnight.
I'm just saying at least just one meal, like before you go. So like whether you eat,
if you leave in the morning,
no matter what time. No matter what time. Like I'm saying, like.
Oh.
Yeah, like do you get what I'm saying?
She's not saying eat one meal.
No.
Let's rephrase that.
I'm sorry.
Before you leave, make sure you eat a meal.
Yeah.
Eat a meal.
Yeah.
Something that fills you up, satiates you, something so that you're not going to be super hungry. A meal. Perfect.
Exactly, yeah. So eat a meal. So we normally will leave in the morning. Except for our last road trip. What a shit show that was.
I blocked it out. I don't remember.
But anyway, yeah, we normally leave in the morning. So eat breakfast, drink your coffee, and then, you'll be ready to go. And then so that kind of like holds you over. We'll try to bring snacks. So we're a big fan of mush. Super great, packable overnight oats. Like really good for in between meals. Really low in sugar. I don't even know if they have any.
There's no added sugar in those.
Yeah, they have no added sugar. They're dairy free. They're really good.
That was the chair.
And so, really easy to pack. So we like those. And then
side
it buys
note, sorry for cutting off, but side note, if you don't know what a mush is, and you are struggling with snacks and stuff,
yes,
or something to eat in the morning, very quick, something that that fills you up. Mush I highly recommend it. It's overnight oats. They sell it at Whole Foods and other places. We found it somewhere else, Walmart maybe, Target. They sell it in quite a few places. It's literally called mush.
Giants sometimes have them.
So we recommend mush
good.
Outside of traveling, just in general.
But yeah, so we'll eat something like that. And for us, we really try not to eat fast food. Even we really don't eat Chick-fil-A that often. And so when you're road tripping, it can be really hard because that's what, some sort of like fast, highly processed food is really what's going to be readily available. So if you are packing snacks or if you're eating a meal before you go, then it buys you more time than like feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to eat at this place or else there's not another rest area for like 50 miles or something, so it just kind of helps you buy some time from like not really hungry to like hangry, I need to eat, we have to eat right now or else I'm gonna crash this car kind of stuff, which
that doesn't happen to me, by the way. I'm not the one who gets hangry. Also, if for a second you think that you're not going to run into a situation that she just explained where it's like 50 miles until the next literally food or any kind of civilization, that happens 100% of the time, all the time.
Only happens to us. Like
only when you want food.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
It happens to us every trip, I swear. And so thank goodness for snacks. And then we just try to normally on your app, like on your phone, like Apple Maps, you can, and I'm sure Google does it too, we just don't really use Google Maps, but Apple Maps, you can find like restaurants in the area, and so it gives you more options than just like the quick fast food ones, like right on the like right on the rest stops. So we'll take 5 minutes, like even if it says it adds 5 or 10 minutes, we would rather do that and like eat something that's going to be a little bit better than try to just eat like we will never eat McDonald's, like, or like Burger King, or just like we won't eat it. And so it's like either we take the extra 10 minutes to go find something that's going to be like better for us, or we don't eat and then everybody's mad.
It's very true.
Basically just me and Alice are pissed.
It's very true. 2016 was the last year that I have eaten any sort of fast food. Again, Chick-fil-A is not counted. It's quick service. Any fast food. 2016. So, and we don't eat it. We won't stop. We'll just keep driving.
Yeah.
We'll just keep driving.
And not that. And so I do want to say though, there are things, there are things to eat, and I guess that was like my
we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, so like
we're gonna get into that, but we're going over our tips right now. And take this with a grain of salt, by the way. If you have a medical condition or you're some person who absolutely needs to eat something of the sort, right? If there's a reason that you need to stop, we are not saying don't stop at McDonald's. Don't stop to eat fast food, right? That's our personal preference. We have the ability to be able to do that, and that's I just won't eat it. Yeah. So now eating that, if you eat it on a road trip and you road trip twice a year, it's really not gonna do very much, right? So it's really not gonna be the worst thing. So just take it with a grain of salt and make sure that you actually feed yourself. You do need to eat, right?
Yeah. And then then you think when you get to the place that you are getting to, we try to stay at hotels that are especially with a baby, if anybody has kids, they know how much crap they have and room they take up. So we do normally try to get a larger room with like a like a kitchenette in it, so we can have like more foods available. But unfortunately, that's not always how it works out. So our last trip.
Our last couple of trips, actually, I feel like this whole year.
Oh yeah, so our last couple of trips.
Not the whole year. Not the whole year.
So
but
dramatic.
yeah, the last month worth of trips, we didn't have a kitchenette. We just had a microwave.
Yeah.
Which you can make do with.
The one we didn't even have a microwave. The last one that we were at.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so then you're really stuck going out all the time, and so it's going to be really just trying to pick better choices. Like, sure, it's not going to be what you would cook at home. That's fine, but like choosing something, like don't eat, like fried food every night or for every meal. Like choosing, just choosing some things. And like, again, most hotels have refrigerators, so we will try to bring mush or like he likes to drink kombucha, or like just like snacks and stuff. So mush is really good again because it's really either a snack or it could be breakfast. And so we like to pack that small. It's already prepackaged. You can keep it in the refrigerator, and it's a really good and cheaper alternative than going out for every single meal every time you're traveling. I could eat mush every day. I do.
I know we kind of do eat mush every day. So,
I
eat some form of oatmeal every single day because it's just, and obviously you want to try to get oatmeal that doesn't have added sugars in it. Avoid added sugars at all costs.
Starbucks actually has good oatmeal. It really comes plain, and then everything comes on the side. So like they'll do like fresh blueberries on the side or nuts, and then they'll also do like a packet of like brown sugar.
There you go. That's actually a good one. Now you can use the brown sugar.
Right.
Or they probably have honey. Just ask for some honey.
Exactly.
Put some honey in there and sweeten it. That's literally what I do. That exact thing. I put blueberries, nuts, honey, flax seeds, sometimes, and then chia seeds.
I mean, like, honestly, Starbucks is one of the, like, healthiest, best oatmeals that I found because it really is, like, just plain oats, and then everything's on the side, so you can do what you want with it.
And Starbucks is almost everywhere.
Yeah.
Except if you start traveling more north, on the East Coast, kind of disappears for a little bit.
East.
Disappears for a little bit until you get really north.
Connecticut Connecticut and Massachusetts, I don't think they believe in Starbucks. Yeah,
I don't know about the other side of the United States, but it's probably the same thing. I think it's just a whole strip at the top of the United States. It's just like, no Starbucks here. So if you just take... So if you don't have a refrigerator... Well, you do have that. If you don't have a microwave or a kitchenette, even if you have a microwave, let's try not to microwave everything. Yeah. But just take some time. When you get there, you're gonna have some downtime at night. Take some time to plan out some meals. Look at places so that you don't want to get there late. Wake up the next morning. The next morning, depending on how late you can get there, you don't have to really plan out meals, but you don't want to be really hungry, starting to get hungry, and then on the spot be like, oh, I need to try to find somewhere. And now because you're hungry, you're looking at all these places, everything sounds good, but everything sounds bad at the same time. Yeah. And then this just happened recently. Not for me. It was you. It was so busy where we were. Yeah. And everything was appealing to me, but nothing was appealing to her. Yeah. And anyways, where we went was really good. But take some time to plan it out, right? It doesn't have to be the first meal because you might be getting there too late. Also, hotels generally have restaurants now, right? A lot of them have restaurants, or a lot of them have room service. See what they have. There's definitely some healthier alternatives than there would be going out to a fast food restaurant. So you can even try that. Yeah. A lot of them serve breakfast right in the morning, so if you're able to eat some of those, I would avoid the cereal things that they give, right? Just those have the highest amount of sugar. If you don't know that, the amount of sugar in there is ridiculous. Try to avoid cereals. And see what they have. Get a bagel, put some butter on it, and some coffee.
Yeah, I mean, like the most like Hilton's, Marriott's, like the chain hotels will normally do a like complimentary breakfast in the morning. Is it going to be the best food that you've ever eaten? No, but is it better
there's
than
a lot
a
of
McDonald's
hotels that do
breakfast sandwich?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So they'll normally have like eggs, a meat, a potato, bagels, fruit.
Yeah, you just gotta see what they have. And if you're not an early bird and you know you're gonna want breakfast, it's not gonna hurt to get up early the first day just to see what they have.
Yeah.
Maybe they have something because it could save you a little bit of money so you're not buying stuff. But two, it'll save you the hassle of even having to go every day, depending on how long you're staying there, to go look for places and to try to come up with something that is, on the healthier side. So.
And we do try to fast in the morning. So like we'll stop eating at a certain point and then we try to fast for at least 12 to 14 hours. I normally will do 12 to 14. Sometimes you do 14 minimum normally. Yeah.
15 is my minimum.
Yeah.
Don't cut that last hour. It's important.
Yeah, so I do 12 to 14.
Now we don't always hit that, by the way.
Right. We don't always hit that, but so like if we wake up with the baby at like 6 or 7 and we're like out, then I'll normally try to like think like, okay, well, even though we're not going to eat for a couple hours, like let's think about what do we want to do? Where do we want to go? What's in the area? What's healthy? Just so then you're not like waiting until like, cause I get starving like at that like 14-hour mark. I'm hungry.
Literally.
And like
have you seen a Snickers commercial?
Yeah.
That's how she gets.
We have 5 minutes before I go nutso. So yeah. So just really trying to plan as much as you can, I think.
Planning is very important when you're traveling.
Yes.
And
definitely.
if you, when you wake up, if you're going to fast a little longer, try not to spend too much time on planning because the longer you plan and look at foods on the internet,
then you get starving.
You're going to get so much more hungry.
Yeah.
So if you are a person who can try to decide or who knows you can decide quickly, I would hold out on that.
True.
But if you are indecisive or just, or less decisive, I would say, and you know yourself where if I look at food, I get hungry.
See, yeah, I think our biggest problem with picking restaurants is I'm definitely more decisive, but what I get mad at is like, I'll say, oh, well, what about this? And you'll be like, sure.
All right, she might be decisive, but I say sure because I will literally eat almost anything but fast food.
But it's so aggravating. It's like, well, do you want it or not?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Sure. And then I'll be like,
I don't not want it. I do.
I
definitely don't not want it.
I guess. Yeah, I guess that's fine. But then it won't come up with any options. Oh my god, it drives me nuts. So yeah, that's our road trip woes in a nutshell.
I'm glad we got that off our chest. We'll be working on that next road trip, by the way.
And then traveling on an aeroplane, you have to eat before you get to that airport. Like, you have to.
If you are a person who needs coffee, make sure you drink. Make sure you drink coffee before you get to the airport.
Yeah.
If you don't,
especially with COVID, it has become so hard to find. And for some reason, okay, my family, we are not morning people. Like, we don't do.
You don't say.
Like, we don't ever. We are never anywhere on time, ever.
That's true.
And we could barely make a 1:00 in the afternoon flight on time. And for some reason, we have been deciding to make our flights in the morning. So like our flight leaves at 9 a.m. And so you have two grown people.
8.
What? Yeah, the
8.
one was like at 8
Leave at
o'clock.
like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh my God. We had to get up
We're
so
still late.
early. Yeah, we were like just rushing to the thing. I think we had like 10 minutes before we boarded. Which that was actually pretty good.
Anyways, drink coffee before you go.
If you have a morning flight, drink coffee and eat before you go. We try to fast again.
This is one of the times that the fast will not hit 12 hours or 12 to 14 hours, more than likely. I mean, when we're traveling early, I am not. Because we did it one time and it was awful.
And it was terrible because I was like, oh, we'll just get something at the airport. We'll get coffee and whatever. Well, of course, we didn't make it on time. So we were like running to the gate. She was our daughter was a year old. So it just was a total shit show. And so had zero time. And then due to COVID, they weren't serving anything on the plane.
And some of them don't, so just make sure that...
like, they weren't even serving coffee. Like, that's all I wanted, just coffee.
Just make sure you get that. But yeah, so because of that, even if the fast doesn't hit 10, 12 to 15 hours,
yeah,
I will still cut it in the morning so that I can get a meal in before I leave, because that'll make sure my body is, is regulating everything it needs to regulate. And I'm not talking about other stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Anyways, and then I'll drink my coffee, right? Because that flight that we took, when we did that, we were going to the West Coast. If you don't know, we're on the East Coast. Now you do. We were going to the West Coast, and it's 3 hours behind where we were going. So we didn't have coffee. Now it's earlier in the day again, and we still had to stay up and do some fun things. Yeah. And we just felt, that was like one of the worst I felt just in general.
Yeah, it was like... Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, so, and it was just because lack of food. We were at like 22 hours, 23 hours before. And traveling fasted kind of sucks, I think. I don't really enjoy that. So.
I don't mind it as long as I can. So, like, coffee curbs my hunger for sure. And so, like, if I can get coffee.
It's like a 20-minute curb.
No, mine I can go a while. But. Yeah, you have to eat. You just have to prepare. That is, I think, the biggest tip.
Well, we were at a lack of sleep too.
Yeah,
don't do that at a lack of sleep. That was the time we were running on like 3 hours of sleep. Anyways, more of the story is try to get a meal in. Try to get some fluids in. Definitely drink some water before you leave. Before you leave, and just preparation while traveling is one of the best things you can do before traveling, while traveling. After traveling, just prepare.
Yeah, just like you do at home. I think that a lot of people get into like a vacation mindset where, then they just want to eat whatever, they want to go out, they want to drink. And it's really easy to get caught up in that. Like, when you're hungry, everything looks good on the menu. And you don't pick the healthiest options because you're so hungry and you're like, oh my god, no way would that salad fill me up, even though it will, and it would be really good if you would have just eaten it, but instead you ate the 4th burger this week, so it's all about balance.
Well, there's nothing wrong with burgers.
No, there's nothing wrong with burgers, but if you eat a bacon,
if you eat a burger that has a bunch of fried stuff on it, correct, yes.
And, with a buttery bun, with French fries.
It's not the burger that's bad, right?
It's everything on it, exactly. Where you could have maybe eaten the fish with like a rice and a vegetable dish, which you would have if you wouldn't have been starving.
True.
So, and, that's what, that is so the trap that I fall into, is that, I would normally pick the fish, but, now at this point I'm so hungry, I default to fried food. I just do. I default to fried food or pizza. Pizza's the jam.
Yeah, I love pizza. All right, well, that's traveling for you, but let's quickly get into, we're going to wrap this episode up with getting into things that you could possibly choose. How how would you go about choosing? Let's say we went to a fast food restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's say McDonald's was the only thing for 7,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the whole United States, and that's all we had to choose. So
What would I pick?
Yeah, if I was somebody who needed to go into McDonald's or was stopping, that was the only thing there. I checked the maps. I'm driving. Mm-hmm. There's a McDonald's. There's a Wendy's. There's a Burger King, and they all serve. We could say anything. Mm-hmm. You know, it could be breakfast or lunch. What would you say? You know, to the listeners to be able to help them choose maybe something that's more, healthy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I would do a salad over a burger, fries. I mean, almost all of the fast food places do sell burger or do sell
They do sell burgers.
Yeah, they do sell salads. So I would do that. They also like grilled chicken from any fast food restaurant skeeves me out. I don't know why, it just skeeves me out. I wouldn't be able to do it. So I would just do like just a salad with like no meat on it. But some of them will do like I know Chick-fil-A has like a Southwestern salad, and you could get that. I mean, you could totally get it with like their crispy chicken.
You can get salads and add chicken to it.
You're asking what I would do. Why are you interrupting me?
I'm saying you can add chicken to the salad.
Yes. Yeah, you can add chicken to the salad. And you could totally do crispy, and it wouldn't be the end of the world.
It wouldn't be as bad as getting the full burger.
Right. No, for sure. Or you could get it without the protein, and some of them will have like more of a Southwestern salad, and a lot of times that will come with black beans, which is a good source of protein. So you could do that route.
Correct. What kind of dressing would you put on your salad?
I mean, I know you should do like just like a oil vinegar, because that's going to be, like the lowest calorie. But I would probably just do whatever came with it, because it only is a packet. It's not going to kill you. It's not like I'm drowning it in dressing. So I normally like a cilantro, avocado, cilantro lime, avocado lime, Southwestern ranch. Any of those.
You can tell we haven't been in McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King in a while. I guarantee none of that is there. We will go over some of these menus, and in the follow-up and question and answer next week, we will. I was
trying to look real quick.
But you don't have to do that right now, okay? We're just going to go by. We should have been a little more prepared. This was Christina's topic.
I know.
She's supposed to host it. I gave her this one chance.
Shut up.
Anyways, I just want to go over a little bit on why I asked about the dressing. One of the biggest downfalls to the salads that people eat is the dressing. The amount of crap in dressing it just overwhelms salads from the most part. I would always, at this point in time, put oil and vinegar on it, or some kind of, I mean, if I was close enough to like a small grocery store that I could find a balsamic, I would literally go buy that just to put it on there. But in this scenario, probably not. So I would just put oil on it. I mean, the taste to me really doesn't need to be there. I just want to try to get, in my opinion, I just want to try to get the healthiest alternative I can get. Now, choosing a salad is definitely better than choosing most of the other stuff out there. I do want to say another thing too. People, some people like to get sweets. Mm-hmm. I know I just said I have a sweet tooth. So I would like to get sweets sometimes. Maybe that would be a time that I was so hungry that I would get a sweets. Like maybe a parfait or something. Mm-hmm. Parfaits are so packed with sugar. It's unreal. I would say try to avoid parfaits or anything around parfaits, anything that's like parfaits. Because they have the yogurt in there, which is packed with sugar. They have the granola, which is packed with sugar. And then they have the fruits, which is, it's natural fructose, right? So it's natural sugar. It's not added sugar, but it's still sugar. That sugar's okay. You're allowed to have that sugar. Sugar's great, okay? But the added sugar is overwhelming in those. And it will certainly spike your glucose and then crash your glucose. So...
Anyway, I just was looking at Wendy's. It looks like they have an apple pecan salad. Actually, looks pretty good. 460 calories. Only 90 calories of that is the dressing, which is total sugar in the dressing is only 15 grams. It's not bad.
Better than some of the rest. What was I just going to say?
And you could do it without, it does have nuts in it. Again, some sort of protein. It has some apples. So it does look like a more hearty salad. It looks like it has some craisins on there.
Nuts are a good form of fats, too,
so,
by the way.
Yeah, so if you didn't want to do the chicken, because again, grilled chicken scaves me out. And they also have things that you could add. So like you could add like additional fruits, like strawberries, and more, you could do almonds, you could do avocados. So just to help it give a little bit more nutritional value than just doing, like a plain salad.
There you go.
So, and it looks like it's like actual like salad and not just like, like the romaine stuff. It
so for those out there who might not know the difference, yeah. So the dark leafy greens are definitely what you want to go for, like spinach, arugula, and everything of the sort that is dark, orange. The romaine and iceberg lettuce generally carry just much more water, not as much nutrients in them, so you're kind of just getting hydrated from eating those, which is definitely better than some of the alternatives. But for those out there who might not know, try to get a salad that has dark leafy greens in it as opposed to iceberg or romaine lettuce. I personally try to avoid romaine lettuce at all costs because it just has, in the past, it's been having so many problems.
True. So
I just don't want to eat it.
Also, interesting development, jalapeno ranch dressing. Another Wendy's salad meal.
It is interesting.
Only 3 total sugars.
Wow.
160 calories though, a little higher, but it is ranch. 3 sugars, so it's not bad.
We'll just make we're gonna make a whole YouTube video on we'll just print out and go over. Eat? We'll print out and go over it. This is more of a briefing and stuff. Now, I do want to say that salads aren't the only thing you can eat.
No, yeah.
So, let's go into like sandwiches and stuff, even breakfast sandwiches. Now, if I was going to go in there and get a sandwich for lunch or dinner, which I would probably pick, knowing myself, I'd get a sandwich and a salad. I would get I would try to, so the grilled chicken, excuse me out a little bit too, but it's because it's so high in sodium. They're just they're cooked so high in sodium, it's just, it blows my mind. And don't quote me on that. Maybe grilled chicken has changed since the last time I've eaten it, but I would get a breaded patty, which, isn't the best for you, but isn't the worst. And I would try to make sure I got a sandwich that if I had the option, I would swap out the bun with a whole grain bun, which we always do at Chick-fil-A. I think it's called something else though.
Multigrain?
Multigrain, yeah. Anything but white. I try to avoid white at all costs. And I would just get some basic stuff on there,
what
like
about
lettuce.
A pretzel bun. Wendy's has pretzel.
I would not do pretzel. It has quite a bit of sugar in it. I think. I don't know their buns, but last ones we had.
It says total sugar 6 grams for the whole sandwich, including the bun.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's not bad.
Maybe I would try that one then.
He would definitely try this one.
I would definitely try that if it didn't have that many sugars. There's other things besides for sugar that we're talking about that you want to try to avoid, right? They do have to post trans fat, and there's I'll make a video on this there are hidden names that have trans fat. That's really bad for you. That the companies can hide into their foods. But for a sandwich, I would personally just get, a patty on there, maybe some lettuce, even if it was romaine, and just for the crunch, a little bit of extra stuff on there. Sorry, iceberg, not romaine. And, I would try to find...
I try to add avocado to anything.
I definitely would add avocado to anything. If you haven't had chicken and avocado, it's like one of the best combinations ever. Mm-hmm. Avocado is incredibly healthy, very good for your brain. And I'm all about brain, which, starts to fade at night. And, just get that multigrain bun. Generally, if I had the avocado, I really wouldn't need to put like a dressing or anything on it or a sauce, because the avocado is like mushy enough. It'll, But if I really had to, my go-to is barbecue, and I really don't put that much on there.
I can't wait to get spammed with all this fast food now on my socials.
You shouldn't have done that. But yeah, sandwiches are... So if you're going to go to Wendy's, which she was just picking up, one of my go-tos back in the past was... I don't even know the name of it, but it had like 8 patties. It wasn't 8, it was like 4. It was 4 patties or something at bacon... The Baconator. The Baconator. But there was a bigger form that had many patties, many pieces of bacon, many pieces of cheese, and that thing was drenched in grease. I am shocked that I even ate that stuff. Thinking about it literally is turning my stomach right now. Avoid those, okay? Yeah. Try not to get too many patties. Yeah. As a matter of fact, try just to stick to one. You'd be surprised if you let your body count down. That's a real thing. Your stomach and your brain, they talk to each other. There's a countdown timer. If you let it count down, you probably won't be as hungry as you think after you eat that one burger. Mm-hmm. Also, and I also try to avoid fries.
Yeah.
I just don't. Sure. You just don't need the fries.
It's better to get like 2 sandwiches sometimes. Because, like, the fries are, I think, more empty calories. Yeah?
More empty calories. They just don't have very much nutrition. Now, the fact of the matter is, fast food doesn't have as much nutrition, but the sandwiches carry a lot more than fries would. Mm-hmm. Unless they have sweet potato fries. They also don't have that much nutrients in them, but they have a little bit more, and they taste amazing. So, I would say... Go for sweet potato fries.
And what's good is that you can start, on like 10 years ago, they did not have all of the ingredients listed. They didn't have all the nutritional facts.
Oh, you had no idea what you were eating.
And they didn't have all of their menus online like they do now. Like, at a touch of a button, you could find all of the menus. So you can do the research prior to, like, I would have never thought that Wendy's would actually have decent, like, salads and other options under like options. 500 calories.
Just wait, I'm gonna find her at Wendy's tomorrow.
Yeah, seriously.
Should be at Wendy's.
That's going to be our first sponsor. Wendy's.
That would be hilarious. Please don't reach out to us, Wendy's. Thank you in advance.
So you can definitely, I think, to drive back, what our main point is be prepared, eat before you travel, and then just plan and even do some research prior to getting there. I am always really concerned about food. Like, I need to know where my next meal is coming from. So, like, at breakfast, I'm already thinking about, well, what and where are we going to eat for dinner? And so, like, just having that, like, that planning mindset. It is a habit for some people. It doesn't come naturally to everyone. But yeah.
And for those that it doesn't come naturally to, once you start doing it more and more, and you create that habit, it will be literally that, a habit. And it'll just come pretty easy. And I was going to say something, I was going to add on to what you were saying, I totally forget what it was. What did you just say? A couple things ago. Go back. Where's the transcript?
Plan, think ahead.
Oh, man, good. That I actually really remember now. I do. One last thing before we cut the episode is I want to say that if you are traveling and you end up eating something that you normally don't, and you're trying to follow, some kind of diet, you're trying to, work out and do this and do that, right? Do not let that emotionally get to you in a negative sense. You are allowed to eat stuff, outside of whatever, okay? In moderation. Don't make it, if you eat it, like I said, if you travel twice a year and you eat fast food 2 times in that travel, so 4 times total, that is okay. You're not gonna, the progress that you have made is more than likely not gonna be, just kicked to the curb, and it's not gonna do very much to your body, if anything. The only thing is, emotionally really is what gets people. So don't let it get to you. Just eat the meal, and then, especially if you're in a pinch, just, say to yourself, it's really okay, because it is. I'm going to plan for my next meal, and, just go from there, right? So always forward, never backward. So I think that's everything for now. This is a longer episode than we had. Episode. This was more fun.
I know.
And
nice chit chat.
Yeah, and there was lots of laughs and toots, which was the chair. I promise. With that, we're gonna wrap up the episode, end it here. Next week we will be having a follow-up and question and answer. And of course, I looked up the date. That wasn't my mouse clicking. August 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live on Twitch and YouTube. Actually, I think we will be live. Awesome. And we hope to see you guys there. So if you have any questions, let us know on social media. I forgot to pronounce that. If you're watching live here, thank you.
Announce that?
Pronounce that. If you're watching live here, thank you for watching. Our links are on the left. Boop. Oh, I did it.
Oh.
And if you're listening on the podcast platform, our links are in the description. Thank you again for listening. And focus. All right. See you next week.
Bye.